So
That's not
yeah,
too bad.
that's just probably.
That's a big backlog.
It's a bit of a backlog, but there are a lot of weeks where we end up not recording it. So
True.
I'm hungry. I should have eaten.
You know, food is really a wonderful thing. I like food.
The food and the podcast have an odd relationship for me, where it's like I could eat beforehand, but then I usually don't have time to watch the anime or whatever. But if I don't, then I inevitably get hungry because we record for hours.
Usually it's an hour and a half. The anime reflux ran a little long today.
I mean, that
Earlier-
combined with the episode, it's usually about 2 hours.
No, it's,
Earlier,
it's
I
an hour and a
had-
half. Half hour for anime reflux, usually an hour for the podcast. Sorry, what were you saying, Zero?
Earlier, when I was like, I smell something, and my dad's making food, I went down. It's like, no, my dad hadn't been making food. He had made food, and the scent had only just hit me because I'm upstairs and the kitchen is downstairs. So I was like, but dang, I'm still hungry. And so I took out this bag full of some football snacks that we had of like meatballs and like little hot dogs that have like barbecue sauce in them, and I put them on a plate and I heated them up, and I ate them. And it was good, and then I felt like, yeah, that's a good sort of breakfast almost.
I'm jealous.
I'm trying to think if I have any real snack items left I can inhale real quick, but I don't think I do. None that aren't work lunch snacks, anyway.
We made way too many like tempura shrimp, or like no, it was a coconut shrimp specifically, and so it's like we have so much of this. It's just last night and even like yesterday, we've just been throwing it in the air fryer and heating it up and
Fair.
eating it. Like I had it with my lunch yesterday, then I had it with dinner. So much coconut shrimp.
Shrimp's good, man.
I love shrimp.
Why would you ruin it by putting coconut on it, though?
It's fine. It's just fried shrimp. You throw some sweet chili sauce on it, and it comes out delicious.
That's fair.
Scampi is shrimp,
Ken,
right?
you want to do lunch?
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, and this pizza is delicious.
What?
The soundboard!
I'm sad now. Oh my god, it hurts.
This is the like, was it the "Where Are You Christmas" like song? Where it's like, "Where are you, Kenshi? You know we miss you." Oh,
In other
he's so busy
news,
with work.
Scampi is in fact shrimp. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like scampi. It is very tasty. So welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hungry, apparently.
Honey Pop 2 came out this week. Yo,
It did.
Wait, it did? I thought it just...
Yes.
Yes, it
someone
did.
Shadow
sent me a
drop.
link. Someone sent me a link to a FAQ of it, so I didn't know if it was actually out or...
came out yesterday from when we're recording this. So just came out, and I'm like, Kenji's never online. How am I gonna do this? I have to do this though.
The question is not how, it's where you're going to post it. Everyone's censor happy now.
Put it on YouTube. Put my own censors. It'll be great. I'm not monetizing it. It's fine. I'll set it to adults only. No kids allowed. There we go. Boom.
Don't get a channel ban, Zero. I say that. I've seen a bunch of those fucking Ruby MMD, whatever that stands for, videos where it's like dance routine. They have the rigging for a character do it, and it's basically a strip show. So
Yeah.
those go on YouTube, and I assume they just get taken down eventually, but the channels are fucking fine.
Until Rooster Teeth decides to be massive hypocrites and removes it themselves.
Well, Rooster Teeth is Rooster Teeth. We don't really need to talk about them anymore. fact, generally speaking, most people don't need to talk about them anymore. They're not really a thing as much.
Yeah.
It's very
Still
I
watch
sad.
the Let's
remember-
Plays, at least, but
I remember when Rooster Teeth was a big thing, and you were very into Rooster Teeth, and you were like, "Hey, Zero, you gotta watch this Ruby show," and
Yeah.
then we did,
Yeah.
and then Ruby got bad.
I remember when I went to their con. It was a thing.
wait, you did? Oh,
Yeah. RTX London. It was fun-ish. I think I talked about that here, didn't I?
Yeah,
probably. I couldn't remember you'd gone or just talked about going.
Yeah, no, I went and didn't get into most of the panels that you would want to go to, and ended up going to Ladies of Rooster Teeth panel, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
It's not a fun time being one of the very, very few dudes in a panel hall where 4 ladies are on stage and basically saying how shit men can be. It's not a good time. Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, that was going to be awkward at best. So,
Yeah. There was nothing else going on that I could get into because fucking conventions are conventions, and getting into panels is a pain in the ass. Oh well. But yeah, so what were we talking about? Oh yeah, it's fucking podcast. Hi, how's it going?
yeah. Hello.
Hi. I'm hungry. Also Casey, but hungry is more important than my name right now. Slice is here.
hey, what's up? I too am hungry.
Patience here.
I am also hungry. Can we stop the podcast and just get lunch? We could just have it run for an hour and say Fandom Flux is out to lunch.
That would be okay. I appreciate the bit, but man, that would wear thin really fast.
If only. I'll say the answer is if only on that one. Zero. You're here also.
I ate earlier, and I'm still hungry.
We could actually pause and do like a 5-minute quick snack kind of thing. It wouldn't kill us.
No, we do it live. If I'm suffering, you're suffering.
Fuck you! I'll mute the mic and go eat at some point.
So vaccines happened and stuff.
Yeah. A couple of you guys had vaccines.
Yeah.
I managed to get a vaccine because, working for the school district, and my mom had been going like panicking over getting a vaccine for the past couple weeks because her school district and her school is opening up from hybrid to modified, like in a week. What that means
Go into
is
detail on what that means.
Okay, so what that means is that normally what they do is they divide the classes into half. So and you have half the class in the AM group, half the class in the PM group. Then the other half of the day, the class that's not there is doing assignments online in Google Classroom, right? This is so you can
All
social
right.
distance and you can have everybody separate, 6 feet apart. So what her school is doing is they're trying to have all students in the room at the same time for the whole day. And that's modified.
How is that different than regular school?
Because they're still wearing masks, they still have to be distanced in a specific way. So it's not full on school in that sense, because you still have to take all the safety precautions. The issue, obviously, is you're going to have 20 to 30 kids now, where previously you had to deal with 10 in the same space, same classroom.
Also, kids that I'm assuming are poorly behaved because they've been cooped up at home for months.
Well, they've been. The issue is more so their masks always slip down.
Yeah.
Always. Right? And it's very hard to have them keep their masks on their faces for 2 hours in hybrid model. Now extend that to a whole school day. So it's, yeah, we had to get the vaccine because that could be really bad. But my whole family managed to get it, except my brother. But he had COVID, so he's done his time, I guess.
It's not 100% clear that that's how that works, but sure.
More specifically, he doesn't have a profession that would allow him to get it because they're very stingy with how they're distributing it. We managed to get my dad in by a pun, funnily enough, or them just not caring enough because we were there and they had to give vaccines regardless. But yeah, a bit of an issue to have to teach in a situation like that. And especially when I'm a substitute teacher, so that means I have to go to many different classes. Yeah, my arm is still sore though from the shot. As I'm pretty sure, Casey, you can attest to that. Slicer, you can attest to that.
Actually, no.
No.
You had Moderna, right?
Yeah, Moderna.
I had Pfizer. I mean, it hurt for like 5 minutes, and then it stopped. My second one knocked me on my ass, though. Just extreme fatigue, muscle pain, joint pain, for like 10 hours.
Mine.
So it wasn't really that bad.
Mine didn't hurt at all for like the first day.
Yeah,
it was fine.
No, it's same. It's like it's the day after that. It's like for some reason my shoulder just really hurts.
The second day, it was like, itches, it hurts where the thing was. Like, I couldn't even see it after it was done, but then the next day it was like, don't like it. But that was the least of my concerns compared to feeling like absolute ass for 2 days.
Yeah. I was told the side effects of the second one, and I assume it's the same for the first dose as well, but I didn't feel anything. Don't kick in until 12 hours after injection, roughly. So the day of, I felt fine. It was the next day that got me.
Yeah. I say for 2 days. It was the first day afterwards. Just to say, after I slept for, like 10 hours. I felt like I had a terrible, terrible hangover. Like, the worst I've ever had is how it felt.
Huh.
And it basically went away like a hangover, but also just generally felt like garbage for the next 36 hours or so after that. So, that was not fun. Not conducive to actually getting anything done, unfortunately. I
can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to say, yeah, my commitments might be a little late this time, and they were, except for the Patreon post. It was only late by 3 hours. I consider that a victory, thank you. But,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So, yeah, that was...
Kenji sound part.
I don't want to hear more Kenji. It makes me sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, how's everybody's week's been?
I think I just said
pretty
it sucks.
Boring, honestly.
Everybody else's. I recently got to the thing that I started playing FF14 for, which were the near raids. There's some really interesting implications there. Apparently, they're finishing up the near raid series in April because there's like 2 raids out, and it's like these raids are like a set of 3. They're 24-man raids, which means it's 3 parties of 8. And good luck trying to get the little 2B minion to follow you around, because getting that is... You got to beat 24 other people on a dice roll to get that.
Great.
And it only has like a 30% chance of dropping. So,
That's terrible. Why the fuck? God, MMOs are terrible.
that being said, I got the full Yorha set from the Puppet Spunker, the second one, for my ninja. So I can just look like I'm straight out of Nier, I guess.
I'm
That's
sorry.
costume's great.
Did you just say the puppet spunker?
Yes.
I thought I was going to be making a joke by mishearing it, but really?
The first
Yeah,
one
no,
is
that's-
called the Copied Factory. The second one is the Puppet Spunker.
Oh, puppets bunker. Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
What
Puppets
did you hear?
Bunker.
yeah. I had something different. So
Anyway.
yeah, Nier raids. It's good. This is content.
It's very fun because what you can do with the Nier raids is after you go and you do the raid, you can then go into the area where the raid was and explore it and find like hidden data logs and everything that have a lot of, lore implications and vague stuff that you kind of have to piece together. Like there's literally a set of weapon data, like a weapon story.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
And when you do the first raid, you can basically just... It's nearly guaranteed you're going to get the 2B costume. And I mean the actual just straight up 2B costume, which is not gender locked.
Oh, how progressive.
So if you want to play a very large man dressed as 2B from Nier Automata, you can do that and show everybody your butt.
Hey, butts are universal.
Exactly. But yeah, no, that's a ton of fun. I don't want to give any spoilers for it because I don't know, people who are listening might want to play the game and then get to that. It's a huge time investment to get to that because it's like the
Yes.
level 80 stuff.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna recommend this content. Play 30 hours of this game.
30 hours.
That
is
only 30? Wow.
I'm being generous.
That's
I
not
don't know.
generous. That's
You have to
fucking
play.
charity, my
You
dude.
have to play the equivalent of 4 games to get to it. It's
Oh, great. So 80-ish.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
a lot.
it's an MMO and like 2 expansions.
Yeah.
It took it. To be honest, though, it only took me like a month of going through the story and doing things, just not even like blitzing it all the time.
I mean,
to
I've
get
heard-
to it.
I've heard Pat talk about Final Fantasy, and he's talking about jump potions, so I wasn't sure if you could use those.
No, I did not use any
Speed
jump
things up.
potions. Don't use jump potions; they are bad.
Well, yes, obviously, but if you
The-
wanted to get there faster.
For those who don't know, a jump potion lets you basically just, hey, I'm going to just bring my character to max level on this class. You need to learn how to play the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't magically teach you how to play. It just throws a bunch of abilities at you.
You
Yep.
can
that
also
you
just
don't know how to use.
you can also just skip expansions to get straight to the end if you want by paying money. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's going to be nonsense.
I mean, that's also literally playing to not play the game, or paying to not play the game. So
I know.
it doesn't.
Every now and again, I think I want to play Final Fantasy XIV again, and I feel like I just heard Fresh get an erection. But every time I do, I remember all the other shit I have to do, and remember that Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO, and that means playing it a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you're only mainlining the story, it's not too bad. But if you want to do all the extra side content, that's where you're just going to, waste your entire life.
Mm.
Thankfully,
Well,
like
I'm wasting
if you
my
just
entire
main
life
this,
anyway. But,
if you just main the story stuff, and you level up your character, and you have like a party of friends who are like in end game gear. You can go back to a lot of that old stuff, unsync it, and go in with your end game gear and just clear all that stuff to get the loot, like the fancy stuff.
Oh, the aesthetic, visual, cosmetic stuff.
So like you want to get a fancy mount that plays super cool boss music when you're traveling around on the overworld. Well, it's in this level 60 boss. Wait, you're level 80 with end game gear? Scaling is BS. Let's just go in there with 4 people and beat it up.
That's
Instantly,
enjoyable.
in like 2 minutes.
I appreciate a game that doesn't also get rid of the rewards. Like, you wouldn't be able to get rewarded in some games if you did that.
Like you don't get gil, like you don't get money and you don't get experience, but you're already max level anyway, so you're just getting the fancy mounts and stuff.
Yeah, what do you need that stuff for? Just give me the pretties.
Mm-hmm. So that's always really really fun. It's been making getting like what I want to customize my character fairly easy. But the end game stuff is where it starts to get difficult. This is not a game you want to play without friends. You gotta have a good group. Like I have a server I'm a part of where a bunch of my friends are. My friend Don is very huge into this game as well. Like mastered all the crafting and gathering classes. So it's like, I got this cool thing. Can you craft me a nice hat? Yes, thank you. But the Nier stuff is really fun. I believe there is a pod minion that follows you around as well. I haven't gotten that yet, but I want it. Can just literally turn into 2B.
Yeah, it seems to be
It's
way
like
ahead.
It's like a mini floating 2B, or like what?
No, the
you
pod.
can get
Oh,
the
sorry.
pod, and you can
I
get a
meant
2B minion. Yeah,
Yeah, the mini.
but it is a 2 scale pod that follows you around.
I want that. God damn it.
And like all the different Yorha sets change depending on whichever class you want, and they all look really cool, which I've enjoyed. Plus the benefit to like playing ninja, which is my main, is that gear is sorted into different types. So you have your fending, your maiming, your slaying, your aiming, and like it's like, oh, fending is for all of the tank classes. And then some. It's like aiming is for all of the range classes, and casting is for all of the ranged magic classes, so on and so forth. But then you have scouting, and it's like scouting is just for ninja and rogue is just the like job before ninja. So basically, it's just ninja. If anything
Baby
scouting
ninja?
drops, it's just mine. Like,
Sweet.
and not a lot of people play ninja because they're cowards.
Oh, that was my next follow-up question, was how common are ninja?
They're cowards because you have to push buttons really really fast. Like it is a very like intense class to play.
We can't just make a macro for that?
I mean, you can, but I like playing it because it feels like I'm playing an action game
Ah, that's fair.
instead of playing like I hit 1 or 2 buttons and then I wait for cooldown and then I do thing on cooldown and then I hit 1 or 2 buttons and then, there are classes that are a lot slower. I prefer going as fast as possible because that makes the game fun for me.
Like actually feeling like you're doing things. I can get that.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the near raid stuff, it has actual like bullet hell mechanics, which are fun.
Oh,
Like-
good. Okay, that's fitting.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to. Because it's off of what Nier is.
And every time you get hit by one of those big red purplish bullets, it's like, oh hey, great. You take damage and now you have a vuln stack, which means attacks are going to do more damage to you for a set period of time. Don't get too many of those stacks, or you will just die. And I get that, like, you get to explore the actual like bunker in the second raid. Like I went into 2B's room.
Oh,
Lots of really cool stuff like that.
You say that 2B's room was literally exactly like everyone else's room.
Yes, but it
Yeah,
says
but-
2B's room when you enter,
Okay.
and there's a specific entry that you can get in there.
I don't know if this is known, but is any of this canon for Nier?
Yes.
Oh, I shouldn't be
That's-
surprised. The Nier story is spread across like 12 different platforms.
That's part of the reason why I was like, I have to get to this Nier raid because this is canon. I need to know.
That's fair.
I mean,
Both 9S and 2B appear in this.
let's be real. All of this is also canon to Kingdom Hearts.
Shut up, Casey.
The catchy punch from beyond the grave.
It's not dead.
It hurts so good.
I know he's
Yeah, that's the best way to word it. Yeah, I was sad. I was happy, and then I was sad.
Oh boy. Yeah. But how long were you waiting to use that?
Probably not very long.
Upwards of 10 minutes, I
I
think.
thought as much. Yeah, you were just waiting for me to say something.
Something that was deserving of that. I wouldn't be overly rude with it.
All right. Well, I mean, it is Kingdom Hearts canon, though. It's all of it's in the same universe.
Everything is Kingdom Hearts canon.
Yeah. Everything's Square Enix. Yeah.
To
12
kind
is in
of mention one of the reasons why I'm going to talk about FF14 a bit because they recently had a whole live streamed event where they announced the next expansion and a bunch of the new stuff that's coming. So they are introducing a new class called Sage, which is a new healer class that uses like magical orbitals to go and attack and heal and other things. It looks really cool. And the next expansion is called Endwalker. And in that expansion, you go to the moon. I don't know much else about it, except it's the final one for the current story arc that they've been doing since A Realm Reborn. Like, it is the final one of that story of everything. So, really interested to see how that ends and where it leads to. And they've also been doing something interesting. They are doing a stat squish because the numbers are getting so big that it is causing overflow. And it is actually like making people unable to see the enemies in their attacks because there's so many big numbers flying around.
Yeah, they're doing one of those the idle game things where you just okay, we're gonna make a new currency that you're running on now because the old one was stupid.
We need to reduce the stats of everything by like 80%.
Yeah, everything runs on diamond
Because-
coins now, so let's forget that one.
The inflation of stats is so bad. When I beat the first expansion, I was like, all right, cool. I have like 40,000 HP. And now I have like 112. Over the course of like 20-ish 20 levels. Like my HP more than doubles.
So what you're saying is you could kick the asses of basically every Final Fantasy game protagonist ever.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a problem because you have characters who are doing like 6-digit damage numbers, and they're doing that with multiple attacks. And when you have like the 24 mans, where you have 24 people all doing that, and then some of these damage numbers go higher and higher and higher, the more gear you're introducing, it's like the scaling was so bad that one of the latest bosses, in order to last any amount of time had to have 440 million HP in order to be a challenge. And it's like, those numbers are causing a lot of problems with the game and causing a lot of bugs, so they have to stat squish it.
There's a reason that, I mean, even DBZ stopped doing power levels after 1 million. It just loses all value.
And also, they're removing one of the items you wear, the belts. They're removing belts from the game. You can no longer wear a belt.
What?
You can equip several different items on your character, like, different set pieces. On your waist, you can wear belts. Belts don't actually reflect on your character, but they do give stats. So it's lots of jokes about Nomura crying as they remove belts from the game. But also, belts don't belong on your waist. They belong on your arms, on your legs, on your chest, just not on your waist.
That's fair.
There's a character who shows up who literally has, like, on their collar, they have just a straight up belt. And I'm like, are you going to choke yourself when you fasten your collar?
I mean, look, I'm not here to kink shame, okay?
Yeah, you might just be misreading that. It's not a belt. It's something else.
So,
there is a hook on that piece of clothing, and it has a very specific purpose.
So they announced a bunch of stuff, as well as, like, here's a new mount that is probably going to cost $1 bajillion because it is called the Lunar Whale, and is the first mount in the game that can have 8 people ride on it at the same time, and that's a full party.
So it's a bus.
Basically, it's a cool-looking mecha whale bus.
8 people is more like a minibus, but whatever.
It's gonna probably cost like $50, because it's like there's a 4-person mount available on their online store, and that's like $35.
Can you earn them?
You can earn like 2- and 4-person mounts throughout the game.
I think,
but
even
like,
as a car.
But to like get specific mounts, there's the cash shop. It's like, if you want to get this mount, it's only available in the cash shop. You can get this one.
The gaming industry should die.
Well, these mounts help fund their fan festivals and stuff. So it's usually just like, if you feel like you want to support the game, you can get that. But to be honest, it's not going to hamper your ability to play the game, because there's already like there's only like 4 or 5 mounts available to buy with like real money, and then there's like dozens in the game itself. Not like feels like there's 50 at least with how many there are, but there's probably close to 40. But yeah, Endwalker is the last expansion of the storyline, and I've really enjoyed the story of FF14. Shadowbringers is good. That's the latest expansion, because they have a good writer on it. Yeah, I'm talking about a bunch of MMO stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know you guys don't have a lot to add in on that.
Not really. It's very interesting to hear, but I have nothing to add.
Mm-hmm. Because aside from that, I mean, substitute teaching, I've been doing that, and that's been fine. Just been fighting to get that vaccine, and finally got it, because really just dumb luck. And gosh, I want to play some other games and watch some other shows, but nothing is coming to mind except for, like, I did see the latest episode of WandaVision.
Good stuff.
Good. Every episode gets better.
It apparently does weird shit.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It's very trippy.
It's also not the comics. That there's definitely some shades of this happened in the comics, obviously, but they're branching off with it.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, the stinger at the end of the last episode is it's really good.
Indeed. I'm trying very hard not to go into detail. Please move on.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Really, teaching, playing a game, watching that. Not much else has been going on except for like D&D, which is it's so weird. I have level 20 characters. We're so close to the end. They recently had a scene where, or a session where they got to experience what it's like if they fail, and it is apocalyptic in a very sinister way.
As in, like, they went to a failed timeline, or what do you mean?
Early on in the game, or like last year, they had gotten um, a special favor by a very powerful being known as the Dreamer, who basically told them, um, "You can make one event, appear as if it was just a bad dream, and wake up the day before." Right? So they had gone and they went to go fight the boss of what they presumed to be like one of the final bosses, and it turns out no, this boss was actually a distraction. Well, their plans were enacted elsewhere, and then the kind of evil god had become its most powerful form and encircled the world and trapped everybody in these kind of infinite Tsukiyomi type thing. And the party each broke out of theirs and was like, this world is really just done. There is no life left in this world. Everybody is trapped in these cocoons, these like crystalline cocoons. We need to figure out what happened, where we went wrong. And, they had a lot of discussions, figured some stuff out. And then basically like, okay, we're going to use that favor, go back to the day before. And now we have roughly 2 hours to stop multiple threats that could cause the world to end.
Fun. It's a good thing the Dreamer kind of exists outside of time, because that would really suck to call in that favor and he's dead.
Yeah, I planned this so long in advance. It's just like, this is the moment when I get to use this thing with this one entity that does exist outside of time and can do this sort of thing. Because they are essentially almost like an eldritch type of entity, capable of doing a lot of crazy stuff like that. Yeah. Everyone was very excited because it's just like every character got to experience what their perfect world would be like.
That is pretty cool.
Their own happy ending, and then they had to say no to it because they still had work to do. So, my players were very excited. It gave them a lot of fuel for like writing their characters and RP and stuff.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, that's my week.
Hey, patient. Hey, patient. How's it going?
I used to be a contender. I used to be a champion. Now look at me. I
don't think that came across super well.
I used to be a contender. I used to be a champion. Now look at me.
Patient, how long have you been setting this up?
Long enough, clearly. As for my week, the last week was pretty relaxing for me. I had the whole week off from work, and I had this week off as well. Just getting my vacation out of the way in preparation for leaving this job behind once and for all. I have a phone interview tomorrow, so I'm hoping that goes well. I have another application out that I've yet to hear back from, and I'm hoping for good things there. And probably going to submit some more applications as time goes on. I beat Pikmin yesterday, the release on the Wii. Beat my previous best record for least number of days cleared the game. My best is now 11.
Damn.
Oh wow, 11.
11.
Those days are short.
Do you mean Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2?
1.
Okay, that makes more sense. I think mine was like 18. So that's good.
Yeah.
I always panic when I play Pikmin because it's just like, oh, I have to do all this stuff before the day ends. Ah ha ha ha.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning.
On the other
And just
hand,
getting lucky.
yeah, luck does play a good part of it, but so does repetition, learning exactly which resources are where, and understanding the dev's mindset in the most ideal way to do things. Because when the numbers match up so perfectly, you can see the right way to do things.
Patient has seen through the Matrix.
Pretty much, yeah.
And do bear in mind how many times I've had to reset, because you know me, I'm the type that refuses to lose a single Pikmin along the way.
He just
That
looks at the
feels
lines of code.
counterproductive.
Yellow Pikmin, black Pikmin, red Pikmin. I'm gonna stop now.
We don't have black.
I don't know Pikmin. Don't ruin my joke. Reference, whatever. Shut up. Keep talking. I'm being an asshole.
Hmm. One might think that you're sort of upset at me for all of the sound bites. But to elaborate on
No.
to elaborate for you, Casey, here's one person's description of Pikmin. Let's make a game based entirely around micromanagement. Let's make a game where every moment must be spent efficiently, or else it can't be completed at all. Any wasted time means a growing anxiety of being able to finish. All your units must be fragile enough that a literal stray wind will severely debilitate them, and every enemy must be powerful enough to steamroll through and obliterate your entire squad in an instant if left unchecked. Let's make a game that forces you to spend several hours and superfluous effort to reach a goal that, if not reached correctly, will cease to exist. While we're at it, let's put a time limit on the whole thing. But why do I love it so much?
Well, it's very satisfying.
Cool.
It's one of my favorite series of games, and I'm really hoping that the fourth one comes out sooner than later. Well, fifth, I suppose. Sixth if you count the bit from Nintendo Land.
Anyway.
Yeah, beyond that, I also played some of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, and have set that aside because I got to the Sky Tower, I lost partway up, and then I was able to rescue my team partway up, and then I lost again. So now I have to rescue again.
Yeah, those later things in Rescue and like Mystery Dungeon can be really tough.
I think I just haven't ground enough. Whichever.
Yeah, I think levels and always make sure you have a fully stocked inventory.
Yeah.
Getting those survival seeds is very important.
Yes.
Also, DX has the gummies that are like really, really busted in certain combinations.
I haven't been using those too much. I mean, I've definitely been taking advantage of rare qualities wherever I could, but
Hmm.
I haven't been liberally applying the gummies everywhere.
I hear if you put them
Yeah,
in the
that
right
might.
combinations, they let you travel the cosmos.
It-
I'm just making so many Kingdom Hearts references today. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
yeah, it might be best to start applying them more liberally.
I'll keep it in mind. Hmm. Well, last week I took advantage of my time off to visit the temple for my faith. I it was only my second time ever going to a temple, and it was a very good experience that's stuck with me since and is likely going to continue. So overall, I feel better from doing that. I've also been looking into Duolingo to brush up on my Spanish, get better at it, partly because the position that I have a phone interview for tomorrow is a bilingual position.
Hmm.
How would you grade your Spanish? Are you not quite fluent but good at it, or?
I'd I'd say I am not fluent. I would call myself proficient in the context of this job.
Okay,
I've
fair enough.
I've had to deal with Spanish speaking customers at a bank before. I've been the one that they go to most, and I picked up a little bit more along the way. So it's I'm not confident enough that I'd be able to hold a full conversation with someone in Spanish, but for a few business transactions, I feel like I would be able to manage that.
Yeah, when I took like 4 or 5 years of Spanish, and like I remember a few things, but it's just like yo no recuerdo mucho. I don't remember much.
Hmm.
I feel like that's of most people with language classes they took in school.
Yeah.
Unless you actively use it, that stuff disappears pretty quick.
Yeah, not a great way to learn languages of just doing that, unfortunately.
It's better. It is better than nothing. It does. A language you barely know is better than nothing.
Hmm.
True.
It's
I feel
it's
like
easier to
it's
go
one of those
back
things
to.
you need to learn on your own impetus. Like just being told, okay, learn this vocabulary. Okay, I learned it. It's gone. I
He
took the
has a
test and
point.
now I don't care anymore. Like if you don't actually care enough and don't need it, then it just won't stay.
That goes for pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, the way schooling tends to work is it teaches you everything until you figure out what you actually want to need. I guess.
That's fair.
All right. I think that's pretty much everything for me this week. And well, last week as it is. Crossbrain is still working on the next chapter, and so many moving parts. It's just we're up to the challenge. It's just very tedious.
That's fair. I imagine that takes quite a bit of planning.
Oh yes. If it weren't for us having more than one mastery here, we wouldn't be. I'm not sure we'd be able to do this justice. No pun intended. But yeah, uh, let me check my favorites, see if I have any recommendations this week.
Alrighty. In the meantime, Slicer,
So has anyone felt old this week?
Sorry?
Has anyone felt old this week?
I mean, I
Well-
feel old most of the time. So.
That's fair.
I-
So I went to the doctor recently, and it turns out I have a birth defect in my hip bone joint, whatever. So I will need hip surgery next month.
Oh boy.
So I got those old man hips. So if you want to feel young, realize that me at 28 is going to have hip surgery before any of you.
Buy a Zimmer frame. It's an investment in the future.
I don't know what that is.
It's the metal frame that old people hold onto and
Oh,
step
yeah.
with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Zoomy frame with the tennis balls. Gotcha. Yeah, I could do that.
There are multiple
But,
kinds. There is the static one, and there is the one that's on wheels. You can get ones that fold out and have a seat in the middle. I used to sell these. I know about this stuff.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
It's good. Oh, it always felt good when I helped someone with that sort of thing. Anyway, sorry. Yes, you're old.
Yeah. So, yep, I will have to have hip surgery. My hip bone doesn't cover my entire hip joint, so it's tearing apart the soft tissue in my leg. Yeah. Bones aren't friendly to soft tissue unless they work exactly right. Humans are shockingly fragile. So within 10 years, I will have arthritis, and within 20, I probably will not be able to walk right. So, yeah, it's important to fix that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even consider that depressing news, because the actual issue is minor. Like, if this issue was major, I would not be able to walk right now. So I'm pretty lucky that it is the way it is and it's detectable. But anyway, on less medical news, I've continued playing Far Cry. I beat Far Cry 4, and oh boy, that game sucks. Or, well, okay, the game is great. The story is bad, because both sides that you can side with are terrible. I didn't realize that when I played it the first time. There's one of them is a hardcore traditionalist who eventually turns religious zealot.
Yep.
And the other one is a liberal extremist who eventually turns drug kingpin dictator.
Yep. You're seeing a lot of the same things that Kenji said like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I didn't remember that. I sided with liberal lady the first time because she seemed like the slightly better choice. Yeah. I sided with the traditionalist this time. I didn't realize he went religious fanatic at the end. So,
yeah,
I guess there is no good choice in that game.
Oh, sure there is. You hang out with pagan men.
Yeah. The best ending is the one that takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
it's the one where you be polite and wait like he asked you to. Like, don't be a jerk. Don't leave.
Yeah. I just had to go pee. Like, I didn't even mean to walk into a rebel. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. The game gives you the chance to shoot Sabal, the religious guy, at the end of the game. Like, his cutscene finishes playing, and you're just there on the island, and he's there. So I just shot him. So I'd like to think in my world that I run the place now. It's my country, damn it.
Yeah.
But still didn't go back to Far Cry 5 and have no urge to do so. That one's even worse. And yet, I'm going to play Far Cry 6. Because I guess I just don't learn my lesson when that comes out.
The trailer looked intriguing.
So yeah,
the fucking
that's been my
yeah. I don't know where it's supposed to be, but the guy teaching his son, heir, whatever, about how you need to be a dictator and stuff, and control the rabble, control the chaos or something like that by holding a fucking live grenade.
I have not seen that. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
But
I remember that show. That was really good.
Yeah.
So I also got. I just browsed the PlayStation Store, and so my favorite game overall is Perfect Dark on the N64 and PlayStation. Xbox Arcade. But my
That is
favorite
a
RPG
bold
is a game
choice.
called. Yes, it is. It is literally the game I grew up on,
Okay.
which plays a part. But I have played it recently, and it does hold up. But my favorite RPG is a game called Rogue Galaxy. It was on the GameCube, old RPG, oldish. And I found it on the PlayStation Store for like $6. So that was a surprise, and I grabbed it and I downloaded it, and that's gonna be the main game I'm gonna be playing while I'm recovering from surgery. So that's cool. I also grabbed Pillars of Eternity 2. Deadfire.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sucker for Critical Role, and I just kind of want to journey with Vox Machina.
I forgot that was on my list of games that I'm never gonna play, but want to.
Yeah. So I hope that's a good implementation of them. I know nothing about their DLC pack thing. I think you just get voices.
It's just voice character sets of just them playing their characters from Critical Role. The first season.
That's not surprising, I suppose, but I was kind of hoping for skins too. Oh well.
Well, I mean, you can make them look like them.
That's fair.
It's pretty robust in that sense. You can get
cool.
it close enough.
Yeah. So.
And you have the portraits as well. The character portraits are in there as well.
Oh, that's a good point. I wanted to beat the first Pillars of Eternity before I jumped into the second one because most games like that have a kind of a thanks for playing the first game. Here's some rewards. I don't know if that game does or not, but
I don't think it does.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I know your base is destroyed in the first 10 seconds of the second game, so
yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I also grabbed Resident Evil 5. I'm playing that one right now, actually. I forgot how poorly balanced this game is.
Yeah.
Like, the game is designed for you to have end game weapons, almost, or at least more upgraded weapons. So, if you aren't keeping up on upgrading your weapons, boy, are you in for a bad time. It's also surprisingly grindy. Like, you really need a lot of money to get all that stuff.
That's true.
Which I would say pushes you toward microtransactions, but the game doesn't have those. It has DLC, but yeah.
It's designed for you to explore and find all the hidden treasures and stuff like that.
Yeah, and play the game multiple times with different people. It's very co-op heavy.
Well, you don't need to play with other people, but yes. It's designed with co-op in mind, but it's not necessary. I didn't play co-op at all.
Yeah, having played with an actual person, it's leagues different. The AI companion is so passive in how they attack people that it feels like a completely different game.
Yeah. Shiva is basically an extra 8 inventory slots, more or less. Well, 4. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Someone to give all my machine gun ammo to because I don't like machine guns. And I think that's it. I don't think I've watched anything aside from WandaVision. I saw that. That was cool. Yeah,
They
I think that's
they
it.
put Super Bowl happened, and they did a trailer for Hawkeye, not the Hawk and The one
Hawk
with
and the Dove?
No. Gosh. It was the one with the Captain America people in it. But now Captain America.
Oh,
The new
Falcon and Winter
TV
Soldier.
show. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't remember their names until now.
You confused
Which
him
one
with
is getting the
Hawkeye.
shield,
I do
by the
not
way?
appreciate you confusing one of my favorite characters with one of my other favorite characters.
Why are there so many birds? But yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier show where one is reckless and the other is careful. It's a buddy cop thing. And apparently Falcon gets the shield.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did already.
Yeah, so
Which I am
we'll
happy
see how that
with.
pans out.
I would have been very displeased if Bucky had been given the Captain America shield.
yeah. I know there were people who
didn't
really
he-
wanted.
Didn't he get it in the comics?
He did, yes.
I realize both of them do at different points.
Yeah,
but
both of them have been Captain America, but the Winter Soldier would be a bold choice, considering the shit he'd been up to, and he hasn't really gone through his full redemption arc yet. So,
that's true. I mean, I still don't really like him, but that's just me. I don't like that kind of character.
yeah. And Loki is weird.
Yeah, I that's the other thing I did actually do now that you mentioned it. I did rewatch Avengers, the last two movies, Infinity War and Endgame, and my opinion of Endgame has only further solidified that is not a movie. That is a giant third act.
Yeah,
That is a 2.5 hour long act 3.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, but man, you cannot watch that standalone. Because I started watching that, I'm like, this feels wrong. So I jumped back to Infinity War.
Yeah, it's like Avengers 1 and 2 are Act 1. Infinity War is Act 2, where everything goes wrong, and then Endgame is Act 3.
Yeah, that works.
It's still like a good movie, but it's at the same time it is very dependent. It's like I understand the story they're trying to tell is like that huge because you have so many characters you have to deal with that you need a two-parter.
Yeah.
Even then, there's still characters that got shafted.
That's true.
Loki is like, I recently had rewatched Thor, and it's like, yeah, if you look at it from Loki's perspective, he does go like a bit overboard, but he's pretty much in the right for most of that movie. Of like, Thor is a dangerous idiot. He is going to cause the worst possible thing to happen. So we have to deal with him because we cannot let him be king as he is now.
Yeah,
It's just,
I mean, Loki could have just ruled for a couple centuries or whatever until Thor, I don't know,
Grew up.
matured up.
and like even like Loki still takes care of Odin, still like does a job trying to rule, but nobody listens to him. And then like Thor's friends go and try to immediately undo like Odin's command. It's like, Loki, you're being mean to Thor, and it's just like he's been exiled. I'm not just gonna bring him back like 2 days after Odin just banished him
Because his friends said so.
Yeah.
This is like a SpongeBob episode. Is the older you get, the more you sympathize with Squidward.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, God, it's been depressing how over time I've been like, I see all these rebellious young characters and they're going to change the system and make everything better, and no, you're just a dumb fuck muppet who doesn't actually know how the world works yet. Listen to your oldest. Hades did nothing wrong.
And like it's just Loki. What are you doing? It's wrong. Can't Thor's just. We need Thor here. It's like Thor would trying to start a war and wipe and cause like mass genocide. I'll go do it. I'll do a better job of it. But like, um, the way Loki phrases it is, "I'm trying to clean up my brother's mess." It's like I'm trying to solve this problem in the most efficient way possible, so I don't throw away the lives of my people. So I'm gonna just open up the Bifrost and just goodbye, planet.
And he cares a surprising amount for people who've scorned him. Or at least he feels like they've scorned him.
Mm-hmm. And it was Loki delivering the news of like, oh, you know, your father is dead. It's all your fault that caused Thor to actually change. Funnily enough, even though it was a lie, it was still very much a keep Thor here.
Kenneth Branagh just wanted to make Henry V again. That's what it is. With, you know, space gods.
One thing, it's something I noticed. It's like Loki finds out, oh, I'm not Odin's actual son, but he doesn't go like all raged. Was like, how dare you? He still cares very deeply for his father and still tries to, you know, do his father proud, regardless of that.
He goes more into the violent, rebellious part of his personality, but like he still respects his parents.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is, Loki got a raw deal. He got a raw deal.
Don't worry about it. Now he's like time cop or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they're gonna do with that.
I'm all on board for that.
Because that's not the Loki that went through all the shit of like Ragnarok and stuff. That's the Loki from like the first movie.
Yeah.
So he's still like full on bratty, evil, whatever.
Yep.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward. It says a lot that everything Marvel now that I'm looking forward to is basically the shows and not the films. Not that
I'm looking forward to the next Doctor Strange movie because that was like visually so beautiful. The first one.
I think they relied on the Glass World stuff a little bit too much, but yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I hope it's good. Of all the ones that I've heard about, it seems like the one that seems the most likely to be good.
Yeah. There's still the Black Widow movie that's, I guess,
pointless.
Still happening. It is, isn't it? Just pointless.
I mean,
shame.
I actually haven't seen the premise. Is it actually pointless, or did
it's
it do
from? It's set in like it's Wonder Woman 2. It's set in the 80s or something.
Oh, great!
It's the prequel you always wanted.
Here's what that film's gonna do. It's gonna give you the backstory of Black Widow, and it's gonna set up Yelena Belova to come into the franchise.
Who?
She was, at one point, she was the evil Black Widow, effectively. Yeah.
Man, we need to get, like, I know there was COVID and everything was delayed super huge, but like it's been a very long break since it's been a let's go Marvel movie, you know?
It's kind of been that case for every movie.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, it was becoming a bit... It's well acknowledged at this point that everyone's pretty fucking fatigued with the superhero thing at this point. But then we got a year where we couldn't leave the fucking house. This was the best thing that could have happened to the Marvel franchise.
Everybody's missing it now. The fatigue has definitely like subsided a lot.
It's not gone, but it's given them a reprieve.
It has definitely helped. Yeah.
And I
Man, that
think
Iron Man
doing the
VR
shows that
game.
have done some wacky and off the wall stuff has also been a bit of a good palate cleanser for a lot of people. Like that's basically what One Division is doing some weird shit.
Yeah.
The one girl from Thor shows up in it.
Which one?
Nice.
The
nerdy
one
one
that had personality or the one that didn't?
Yeah, the one that had personality.
Okay. So not the one that's going to be in Thor 4.
I did not realize that's where she was from.
Yeah, she's from Thor.
I recognize the actress, and she always plays that kind of character. But
and then the Asian agent from Ant-Man is also there. The one guy, I don't remember the actor's name. I know he's a popular actor. He's a good actor. I like him. But like minor characters from different things show up, and it's kind of nice that this is where they went.
It's definitely one of those littler benefits of a cinematic universe is you can throw in characters like that I didn't recognize them, but now that I know that and had someone point it out to me, that's an enjoyable little fact. And it doesn't matter in the slightest. I mean, I don't think that comes up at all that they're from those things.
Yeah, no, it's just they have a reason to be exposed to the weirder elements of the world. So that's why they show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel stuff and things.
It's Marvel, baby.
Is that your week, Slicer? I think you said.
Yeah, I believe that's it.
I played a bunch more Stardew Valley this week.
Is it good?
Because they had that big update and stuff, and that's cool. I didn't play any of the new content because it's all endgame stuff, and I started a new save file. But you know, first season went pretty well, I guess. Made some money.
Cool.
Did some farming and stuff, and fishing, mining. Yup. I just needed something that could just occupy my brain, dude. It was a bad couple of days.
That's fair.
So
I assume it worked.
Yeah. It was good when I needed a break from writing because, you know, pulling teeth while you're sick, it's not great. I had to do it, but it wasn't great. So I could just write some. I feel like shit. I'm gonna play Stardew Valley for like a day in game, and then put it down again and get back to work. So that worked pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Did I do anything else? No, pretty much the vaccine thing, and jury's still out on whether I have psoriasis or not. Whatever it is some kind of skin condition that is not pleasant and itches like fuck. So
pardon me for stating an overly simple idea, but have you tried Neosporin?
I don't know what that is. That might be an American thing.
Hang on a sec.
If you mean like an antibacterial skin cream or something, then that is basically what I'm doing. I bought one that is like specifically for things that it could be if it's not psoriasis. Like there was one other thing it could have been. It has helped relieve the itching, and that's about it. It has not gotten rid of the problem.
Let's see.
So yeah, I am buying more different skin creams. You want to talk about feeling old? Buying skin creams is pretty up there with those. Yeah, so that's arriving on Sunday, and hopefully that will help. But if it only relieves the symptoms and just leaves it looking ugly, then fucking that's what psoriasis is. There isn't actually a way to fix it, so it just kind of sucks. Oh well, it is what it is, and yeah, I can't say I didn't really see this coming because my sister got it maybe a couple of years before I did, before my age, which and it is sort of a genetic thing. So if she got it, there was a good chance.
A bit of a heads up on that then.
Yeah. So that is the thing that I may or may not be dealing with. Or it's just some weird, severe allergic reaction that won't go away, and I have no idea what's causing it. That is also a thing it could be. Fuck if I know, dude. It's not like I can go to the doctor.
Is it? I mean, we do like telehealth things here, so you basically hop on a video call with a doctor and do that. Do you have that equivalent?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I mean, I could look into it, but I don't think we do now.
It's not the best, obviously. In-person care is definitely the greatest, but it's something.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I didn't really do much. Just bunch of writing, bit of Stardew, feeling like garbage. Yeah. Woo. I'm hungry.
The food is good. Food would be nice.
It's fucking February, so the episode doesn't get to end yet, unfortunately. But also, Patient, do you have a recommendation? Did you figure that out? Patient. Patient.
I guess not.
Okay. So Zero should probably do the patron thing.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I was gonna do the Zero thing for the patient thing. Yeah.
All right. So thank you to our patrons for donating. I realize it's not the easiest, but hey, you know what? If you're making money off those game stonks, then please throw them our way. Get Dogecoin to $1.
Oh boy, that
and maybe send me some of those massive gains.
Thank you to Sailor of House Thunderbird for your $1 donation. Thank you to Vale for your $10 donation. Thank you to Buy Fresh for your $20 donation. Thank you to Ryu for your $3.50. Thank you to Greek Guy for your $1 donation. Thank you to Ethan F for your $10 donation. Thank you to Bomber BCM for your $20 donation. Thank you to the Crossbrain for your $10 donation. And thank you to Tropo for your $5 donation. Again, everybody who's listening to this is probably already in our Discord. But Discord, if you are going for a reward tier, you can contact us through Discord, and we can get that right to you. Really, nobody's been doing that though. So, thank you guys.
Yeah. Always open to guess. Honestly, I'm pretty sure everyone who's donated has donated more than enough to be on. So if you're ever interested, hit us up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Okay, so that's a podcast.
Food time.
Yeah.
Food time.
Discord link in the description. Patreon link in the description. Bye, everybody.
Bye. See you guys.
Wrapped.